The first Chakravarti King Bharat was deeply mesmerized by the divine glory of the preaching gallery of the omniscient god Rishabh. In awe, he exclaimed that Rishabh was the first and also the last. However, it was revealed to him that there would be 24 such enlightened ones, and the last would be Marich, his youngest son would be like me in the present chakra cycle. Listen further to understand the grand configurational system of the universe through which everything is governed. Video 60 VRH narrates the story of the first Chakravarti King Bharat of our earth, who was overwhelmed by the divine glory of the preaching gallery of God Rishabh. In his delusion, he exclaimed, "Ayo God, you are the first and the last." Ayo trademark symbol read on to discover more about his profound statement. Ayo according to the wheel of time, Kal Chakra, karmic activity takes place only during the 4th, 5th, and 6th time periods. These are known as the karmic eras, governed by the immutable laws of nature, beyond the reach of any interference. Remarkably, all Bhagwan are born only in the 4th period. This is a profound mystery of Naturairo, one that never deviates from its predetermined principles. Even the most powerful gods and celestial beings have never dared to alter this cosmic arrangement. Scientists, too, have ample scope to explore the limitations imposed by these natural laws and why they cannot be broken. The first Tirthankar, Bhagwan Rishabh, was associated with 2 eras. He was born in the 3rd era, son of the last Manu, Nabhirai, and his mother, Marudevi. However, their lives extended into the 4th karmic era. People of the 3rd era lived in complete innocence, unaware of the skills needed for livelihood. In contrast, King Rishabh was blessed with innate clairvoyance from birth, enabling him to perceive all gross realities of the 3 periods. He became the guiding light, teaching humanity everything Ayuro, from basic necessities to the establishment of governance systems under well-defined principles. King Rishabh had 2 wives, 100 sons, and 2 daughters. The people of that time were innocent and unfamiliar with any means of livelihood. At their request, he introduced essential skills, primarily centered on agriculture, cooking, writing, and teaching with an emphasis on truthfulness. Gradually, he imparted many other arts necessary for human life. He taught 72 sciences to men and 64 to women. For this reason, he came to be known as a Aero Ford Makerayoro in the current cosmological cycle. Thus, he was not only a spiritual guide but also a great teacher who provided knowledge for material progress and organizational systems to ensure a harmonious life. This profound wisdom was possible because of his innate clairvoyant vision, present from birth. He ruled the kingdom for millions of years, guiding his people, solving their problems, and nurturing their growth. Eventually, he renounced worldly life, adopted monkhood, and devoted himself to penance. After 1000 years of deep austerity, he attained omniscientia, the infinite knowledge that perceives everything in the universe across all times. Nothing remained hidden from his vision. Monk Rishabh attained omniscience, Keval Gyan, after performing rigorous austerities for 1000 years. With this supreme knowledge, nothing remained hidden from him. In honor of this attainment, celestial beings established the divine preaching assembly, Samavasran, where his infinite wisdom became accessible to all who enter humans, gods, animals, even natural foes. The divine radiance of the preaching gallery was such that the pride and ego of any individual dissolved instantly. His children and grandchildren too came to witness this heavenly spectacle and were overwhelmed by its profound mystery. Even hostile animals shed their enmity, and infants sat in complete silence, captivated by the divine aura. Among those present, the eldest son, Chakravarti King Bharat, was deeply fascinated. Never before had he encountered such a divine revelation. In praise, he addressed God Rishabh, O God, I feel you are the first and the last, and none shall ever equal you in the flow of time. To this, God revealed with compassion, like me, there will be 24 Tirthankar in this vast time cycle. And the 24th and final Tirthankar of this era will be none other than your youngest son, Marichi, who now sits beside you. As the era shifted from the third to the fourth, people were innocent and unaware of the means of living. They faced difficulties in matters of food, clothing, and livelihood. King Rishabh gradually guided them in every aspect of life and laid down systems of organization. For the proper functioning of society, he divided people into three groups: Kshatris for protection, Vaishyas for trade, and Shudras for service. However, Bharat, knowing of these three divisions, desired to establish a fourth category, the Brahminsayuro, dedicated to serving Bhagwan Rishabh, though without his consent. Bharat reasoned that Bhagwan alone could not spread the vast depth of universal knowledge across the big earth alone. The new class, he thought, would assist in this divine task. After much thought, he devised a method of selection. A public announcement was made inviting aspirants to the royal court. Thousands gathered, and they were asked to cross a courtyard filled with tender, newly sprouted grams in order to reach the other side. Most participants crossed without hesitation, some with care to avoid harm, but about 100 refrained from crossing altogether. Bharat declared that all who attempted to cross were rejected, while those who chose not to harm even a single sprout were selected. These were honored as wise men and named Brahmins, forming the fourth class of society. Bharat rejoiced at establishing this new class and eagerly sought Bhagwan trademark symbol as opinion. Bhagwan, however, gently told him that such a division was unnecessary. Meanwhile, Bharat came to know that he had been honored with the 12 precious divine jewels, which had appeared in his weapon gallery. Overjoyed at this auspicious sign, he recognized them as a blessing indicating his destined rise as a Chakravarti king. Together with his family, he worshipped the divine jewels with great reverence. Aspiring to fulfill his role as a Chakravarti, Bharat resolved to conquer the 6 continents of the Bharat region, a name eternal in Jain tradition, though mistakenly connected by many with Chakravarti Bharat himself. With this resolve, he began his grand campaign. As his army marched, the Chakraratna and Dandakratna always advanced at the forefront, punishing those who dared resist his command. Their brilliance was so dazzling that they were difficult even to behold, while the rest of the army followed behind. The first regions to be conquered were the Mlechha lands, separated from his dominion by the mighty rivers Sindhu and Ganga. With the help of the third divine Ratna, a miraculous boat capable of carrying an army of limitless size, Bharat trademark symbol as forces crossed the rivers. Although some local rulers resisted, they were soon subdued. Each defeated kingdom offered its wealth and a princess in the alliance, leading Bharat to marry many princesses. Gradually, Bharat subdued all 6 continents and the central mount, each inhabited by human beings. Some mighty kings, astonished at this distant emperor trademark symbol as power, sought the aid of celestial beings, who unleashed torrential rains to flood Bharat trademark symbol as army. Yet the boat Ratna and the umbrella Ratna protected him, rendering the divine assault ineffective. Thus, Bharat came to rule an immense dominion. He had 96,000 queens, each residing in her own palace, and through his extraordinary spiritual powers, he could assume as many forms simultaneously, ensuring that each queen had his presence with her. After spending several years conquering kingdoms, King Bharat was returning home to claim his rightful reign. Perplexed by this, Bharat inquired about the reason. He then realized that he had not yet conquered the reigns of his own brothers. Without their submission, he could not attain the status of a Chakravarti, universal monarch. Deep in thought, he sent wise and skilled envoys to persuade his brothers to surrender their kingdoms. As a result, 98 brothers relinquished their reigns, though they did not personally accept Bharat's authority. Instead, their children submitted on their behalf. That one was Bahubali, Bharat trademark symbol as immediate younger brother, who refused to submit. Many urged Bahubali to bow before Bharat, saying, "An elder brother is like a father." But Bahubali replied that as long as their father was alive, he did not accept that argument. Tension grew. The armies of both brothers faced each other in preparation for war. However, their ministers wisely advised them, "Both kings are strong as steel. This war will lead to massive bloodshed among soldiers, while the brothers themselves remain unharmed. Let them decide the matter through personal combat instead." Both brothers agreed to this peaceful yet decisive suggestion. The outcome was to be determined by 3 contests, *1. Physical wrestling 2. Staring contest, glare duel 3. Water fight. Unfortunately for Bharat, he lost all 3. A major reason was Bahubali trademark symbol as tall stature and strong physique, which gave him a clear advantage. Humiliated and enraged, Bharat ordered the Chakra and Dandak Ratna to destroy Bahubali. But the divine weapons did not move. Seeing Bharat defeated and distressed, Bahubali was deeply in pain. He thought, "Is a mere throne worth turning against one's own brother? If one can think of killing a brother over such a fleeting desire, Itayuru trademark symbol is better to renounce everything." With that thought, Bahubali chose the path of renunciation. He gave up all worldly attachments and left for the forest to pursue austerity and spiritual liberation. Bahubali, disillusioned by the futility of power, walked away toward the forest to live as a monk. Realizing his mistake, Bharat followed him and pleaded for forgiveness. He asked Bahubali to return, but Bahubali had made up his MP&D. Eventually, Bahubali undertook penance in a standing position in the forest, after completing all the vows and duties required of a monk. He went deep into meditation, remaining unmoved without food, water, or any worldly needs. Over time, his body grew weak, vines took support from him and climbed upon his form, almost covering him entirely, while snakes made their pits nearby and freely played around him. A full year passed in such harsh penance, yet he did not attain omniscience. Curious, Bharat asked Bhagwan Rishabh why his brother had not realized true knowledge despite such austerity. Rishabh explained that a subtle thought still lingered within Bahubali trademark symbol as mind, and until that dissolved, liberation would remain out of reach. Thereafter, Bharat and his family came to worship Bahubali. They reminded him that the land on which he stood belonged to Nonyayuro, not even to Bharat himself. Ayuro, remove this thought from your mind, Ayuro, they declared. In that very moment, the inner disturbance vanished, and Bahubali instantly attained omniscience. In due course, after ruling his vast kingdom for many years while upholding the principles of right perception and right vision, Bharat too renounced the world. In his old age, as a monk, he fixed his mind in absolute stillness, and within just an hour, he also attained omniscience. It is indeed remarkable that three members of the same familiayuro, Rishabh, Bahubali, and Bharatyuro attained omniscience in vastly different spans of time, 1000 years, 1 year, and 1 hour. This clearly shows that the time taken for the realization of omniscience is determined by the influence of past karmas.